going on YouTube. So I'm gonna be doing something. I want to try to keep it as short as I can, because I did watch these movies ever since I took that small break on from social media, from the towards the end of October to like the end of November. I took a small about I think it was about a month, but it doesn't matter. Took a short break, and I did see some new movies that came out this year that I just watched, but I didn't make a full review for each of these movies I saw. So I just want to make like a short review for each of these movies that I saw in this little break I did, and I'm going to try to keep it as a maximum of 5 minutes of each review, just because I don't want to talk about it too long. I don't want to talk about too much of it. I want to try to. I just wanted to put my thoughts out there about of each movie that I saw. I did see 5 movies. I know it's not a lot, but it was only 5 movies. I did try to keep it as a minimum because I want to try to. I would like to try to avoid this type of situation from now on, but it is what it is. And like I said, I'm going to try to keep all these reviews as at a maximum of 5 minutes of each one, and I'm going to be talking spoilers for all these movies. So if you haven't seen these movies that I bring up, do not watch this review, or at least if you don't want to listen to it, I'll keep like timestamps of each movie review below. The 5 movies that I did see are Halloween Kills, Eternals, Free Guy, Injustice the animated movie, and Army of Thieves. So like I said, I'm going to keep a maximum of 5 minutes for each of these reviews. So let's get into it. First, I'm going to start with Halloween Kills, and I really enjoyed that movie actually. If in my opinion, if you like Halloween at all, just if you just enjoy it, any movie, you're not a true critic, you'll enjoy this movie. I enjoyed it. I'm very rarely the type of person that goes into a movie and tries to look for the story, looks for extreme character development. I like to look out for character development, but not like extreme movie goers and critics. I did like how we had the flashback scenes when we saw like young Hawkins. We saw the return of Loomis for Halloween and how they caught Michael Myers to take him to that facility. That was cool. I really liked that. I loved all the flashbacks. It was cool seeing Tommy return. I hated that they killed him off though, but it was cool to see him back, and it was cool to see like other characters return that were from the very first movie, like the nurse from the beginning of the first Halloween movie. Can't think of who else right now, but it was just cool to seeing all of them because it sucked that they killed him off though. I will say some of the kills in this movie were just plain dumb and funny, like when Michael was trying to fight off the black woman. I forgot her character's name. I don't even know. I can't even see her right now on the casting list. Yeah, I don't even see her on the cast list right now. And when she was trying to shoot Michael, and then freaking Michael just kicks the car door and she like shoots herself. I was like, really? Like it was just so it's just silly, so silly to me. And it's like those type of deaths that made me laugh and just be like, yeah, that's not. I don't know if that would happen, but with Michael Myers' luck, it would happen. And there another thing is too is that when they all encountered Michael in the third act of the film, and I'm thinking to myself when they finally took him down, can someone like shoot this guy in the head? No one's shooting in the head. All he did was stab, and I'm like, yeah, you guys are gonna eat it. And then right when he freaking stood back up and started killing them, I was like, you guys done fucked up. And of course, obviously, it ends with Michael surviving because most of us already knew that they have a third Halloween movie in the works called Halloween Ends, which comes out I think next year. I don't even think they started filming yet. I think they start filming next month of January, and it sucks that it looks like Judy Greer's character Karen was killed. She was a cool character. I thought she was badass here and there. I mean, yes, there was some moments where like, okay, can you like, your mom's Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode. Why are you not as badass as her? I did I did dislike that she wasn't in the movie as much, but it is what it is. I'm sure we'll see her a lot more in the third one. After all, I think they read that they're going to change up the script a little bit to fit in the COVID-19 pandemic era, but I don't really care if they do if they did that or not. It's fine. It's as long as the movie is enjoyable, that's all I care about. All right, I'm done talking about Halloween Kills. Right now, we're going to talk about Eternals. Eternals, I really enjoyed. Another movie I really enjoyed. Another really good MCU movie to add to the enjoyable movies list. I did. It was that. First, I want to talk about that end credit scene. the voice sounded familiar too, and I'm like thinking to myself, okay, who was that? That voice sounded too familiar. It was so quick, I could so it's like I couldn't rewind it, of course, because I was in the freaking movie theater. But when I looked up on the internet and I found out it was Mahershala Ali's Blade, I was like, oh shit! So we finally got our first, we finally heard our first lines by Mahershala Ali's Blade in that end credit scene. I thought that was really cool, and it was also really cool that you saw, I'm forgetting his name right now, Harry Styles as Eros' brother Thanos. When I saw it was Eros, I was like, oh no way, and I thought that was really cool. And hearing Patton Oswalt voice the was it a dwarf? I can't remember his name right now. I don't know much about either of those characters. I'm not gonna lie, but when I saw it was Eros, which I know a little bit about him, but when I heard Eros, I was like, oh no way, because I makes you wonder too, could Thanos return some way somehow? Because after all, it's Eros. I mean, Thanos is Eros' brother. You never know. And I did like the cast. Gemma Chan did amazing as Cersei. Kid Carrington. I wish we saw more of his character, Dane Whitman, and Richard Madden as Icarus. I really liked his character. I hope we see him return because after all, it looks like he does die, but we all know that they're essentially robots in these freaking movies. The Eternals, they're they are robots. So in some way, shape, or form, I think we'll see them return. I did like in the movie that we had like time jumps here and there. How we went from like I forgot what year BC when they arrived, the Eternals. What year a few years before BC when they're helping this era and when they're helping this era. My favorite was probably when they were in, I forgot what the exact year, 1940 something for World War II when Hiroshima got bombed, and it was interesting to see that Fastos, I think that's how you say it. I can't remember. It's been I haven't seen it. When I saw this movie, it was like opening weekend. He was involved in creating the atomic bomb, and I thought that was interesting because I'm a big because I enjoy learning about World War film or not films World War concepts. God damn it, I can't speak right now. World War stories and learning about it in documentaries because the Vietnam War, the Civil War, I'm into that kind of stuff. And it was interesting to see that he was involved in building the atomic bomb. I thought that was interesting, and it broke him too because he realized that his machinery were the ones now killing these humans because he didn't want that. But at the same time, like you can't he shouldn't be mad at himself because it's not like he was the one that decided to kill these humans. He was just helping the humans, and he didn't realize that that's what these humans were gonna do is kill more humans. I did like Druig. I thought his character was really cool. Did he get killed off? I don't think he did. I don't remember. I thought he was really cool and interesting. I hope we see more of his character eventually. Sprite was cool. I thought she was really, really cool. I thought she was the best of them. I thought she was the funniest out of all of them. And Angelina Jolie did a phenomenal as Thena. She is so fantastic as an actress, and I hope we see a lot more of her character in the future. And and I hope we see more of Salma's, excuse me, Ajax in the future too. Like, I mean, I'm sure we will. I think she signed up like a multiple Marvel contract or something like that. I could be wrong, of course, so please correct me if I'm wrong. So I guess we could see more of her. She seems powerful, so I want to see her like interact with other Marvel characters, like maybe Guardians of the Galaxy character or two, or Thor, or Sam Wilson, any of those characters. I want to see these. I'm looking forward to seeing these Eternals interact with other MCU characters, like one of the Avengers or Shang-Chi, whatever. All right, that's all I gotta think. Oh, speaking of, I can't remember the his name. The Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank, and I can't really find his name right now. It doesn't matter. The big guy, the huge, their boss, I guess you could say, Eternals. That Ajax and Cersei were talking to. I can't remember his name for the life of me right now, but I could not believe how freaking huge they made him. When you saw how huge he was, when he was literally right next to planet Earth, he could hold planet Earth in his bare hand. Like, I'm sorry, if you can make that work, you can make someone like Galactus work. And I've been hearing that they might bring Galactus sometime in the future in maybe the Eternal sequel, if an Eternal sequel is in development, which I'm sure it is. So, come on, MCU, bring in Galactus so that I can like die peacefully. I'm kidding. All right, that's all I gotta say now for Eternals. So right now I'm gonna be reviewing now Free Guy. I wasn't so sure about the movie. I really like Ryan Reynolds, and I just thought I'll watch this movie, but I wasn't gonna go to the movie theater and watch it. I figured I could just wait until it's on the website I use to watch certain movies and whatever, and that's what I did. And as much as I enjoyed this movie, I'm still kind of glad I didn't go to the theater and see it. I did, however, get spoiled. How what's his name? Ryan Reynolds' character Guy, freaking pulled out a Captain America shield, and he had a Hulk fist ready when he was fighting um, a bigger version of himself. Dude, I guess that's his name. It doesn't matter. And that was cool. It was cool to hear the Avengers theme song, but I didn't know that we were going to see the lightsaber. That was cool, and hearing the lightsaber. I mean, the lightsaber, the Star Wars theme song, and that was cool. I really liked that. It was cool to see that kind of stuff in this movie, and I did like to see that, and that was cool seeing the Deadpool Easter egg when you saw that one character helping him out. And another thing I enjoyed about this movie is that um, it, it it definitely brings sequel potential. The movie was funny. It was good. I had there were parts of it where I had Deadpool vibes, just the way he was acting, minus the language and stuff. And it just I'm trying to think. The movie kind of reminded me of Player One. I think that Ready Player One. I think that's what it was called by Steven Spielberg. Kind of reminded me of that. Kind of reminded me of Wreck-It Ralph a little bit. It also reminded me of what's it called? The Emoji Movie a little bit, just by the way it was like going in from the video game world to the real world, and it made sense about how Guy was acting, is because he was essentially an AI, and I'm glad that they acknowledged that, because it was just in a video game character that was trying to do something that would not have made sense. But when they said that, oh, it's an AI, actually, it was like, okay, I like that, because AI and something that is just going to take over the world eventually. But that's all you really got to say for Free Guy right now. Was an enjoyable movie. And if you're wondering what my ratings are for these movies, I'll give them at the end, actually. So that's all I'm going to say now. Talk about now for Free Guy. Right now, I'm going to talk about the animated movie of Injustice. I read a little bit of the comic Injustice, but I didn't finish it because I already knew how it was going to end, essentially, because I really like the Injustice video game. And I haven't played the game actually in a while, nor have I read the comic, and I would like to maybe finish it one day to read the original comic. It seemed different to me, I guess because it's been that long since I played Injustice, that Injustice, the animated movie, seemed a little bit different to me. I enjoyed it and all that, because it's DC after all, and I always enjoy any type of DC or Marvel movie as much as I can. But it was different. Like, I don't remember Flash getting killed off that early into the Injustice movie. I did know, of course, Superman was the one that was responsible for killing his wife, because even though he was being mind tricked with the fear toxin when he thought it was Doomsday, when it was actually his pregnant wife Lois Lane. And I did know, and of course I did know that Superman was the one that killed Joker. And I don't see right now who's the one that voiced Joker. Kevin Pollak, I hope I said that name correctly. He was a really good Joker. I thought that was a really good job. And Gillian Jacobs as Harley Quinn, she did a really good job as well as Harley Quinn. And Anson Mount, great job as Batman. I think I read, like, when he was asked to play Batman, he didn't even let them finish their sentence. That could be, I don't know if it's this guy that voiced Batman, or if it was Batman that voiced in Halloween, the Batman Halloween movie. And it was an enjoyable movie. I'm sure they're gonna make a sequel some way, shape or form. It was cool to see Superman fight another Superman from another Earth, which I predicted, because I think it happens in the video game and comic. Anyway, that's all I gotta say right now that's all I gotta say for Injustice. Not that long of a review for Injustice, but it was a good movie. Enjoyed it, and I'm definitely gonna watch the sequel if they make the sequel. Oh, and the Wonder Woman, the romance between Wonder Woman, well, trying to be romantic with Superman, Wonder Woman, I kind of saw coming because if I remember correctly, in the video game and maybe in the comic, they did kind of have some sort of relationship. But that, like I said, that's all I'm going to talk now about Injustice. And last but not least, Army of Thieves, which was a prequel to the Army of the Dead movie, which I really enjoyed, by the way, because it was by Zack Snyder. But this one wasn't by Zack Snyder. I cannot. Oh, Mateus. I'm not even gonna try. I'm not even gonna try to say that last name. Was the director actually? Which I did not know. I knew Zack Snyder wrote the movie. And I knew he wasn't going to direct it. But I didn't know Mateus was the director, who was also the main character of the movie, is Ludwig, and he was, after all, in Army of the Dead, who was the safecracker. And I did like the references towards the zombie apocalypse of Army of the Dead, and I really liked how they ended Army of Thieves as the beginning, essentially the beginning of Army of the Dead. That was cool. I also really liked that each safe he was cracking, they would like go inside and show like what was happening in the inside. I thought that was really cool. Ruby Ophie as Karina, I wish I heard of her sooner, because holy crap, she was gorgeous, and she was good in the movie too. She was funny. She was cute as hell, as well as the one that played Gwen. She was really cool. She was really pretty too. But oh man, Ruby Ophie, she was drop dead gorgeous. At least in my opinion, she was. Another really enjoyable movie, and I think if I remember correctly, Zack Snyder is involved in making an animated spin-off series for Army of the Dead. I think it takes place after the events of Army of the Dead, but I could be wrong. And I think I remember correctly that Zack Snyder is working on a sequel to Army of the Dead. And I'm all for that, because I think Mateus' character from Army of the Dead is survived at the end. I think he did. Last time I saw the movie was when it came out to Netflix back in May, but I think he survived, if I remember correctly. Please correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone's watching this video. But yeah, that's really all I gotta say for Army of Thieves. Like I said, probably my favorite moments was when he was cracking each safe, and and you can see like the inside of what it looks like as he's cracking it and trying to unlock it and everything. And I didn't know, and it was cool to know that the final safe in Army of the Dead that he was cracking in Las Vegas was the final safe he needed to crack out of all 4 of the safes, which I thought was cool. I did not know that, and I thought that was really cool. And like I said, I really liked how the end of Army of Thieves was the beginning of Army of the Dead. Another enjoyable movie. Hopefully we can get another sequel of Army of the Dead, and I'm sure that the animated spin-off series is going to be enjoyable, which I will watch, maybe react to. I don't know. It just depends on how well this YouTube channel does. But anyway, so my ratings for these movies. First, Halloween Kills. I'm gonna give Halloween Kills a 7.5 out of 10. Enjoyable. We'll watch it again eventually. Looking forward to Halloween Ends next year. Eternals, I'm gonna give an 8 out of 10. Another enjoyable movie. I don't think I stated this when I was talking about Eternals. It was, as much as I enjoyed it, I feel like it was too long. It felt too long. If it was shorter, I think I would have enjoyed it a little bit more. But it just felt way too long. It was like 2.5 hours. It was like 2 hours and 36 minutes if I remember correctly, or maybe even a bit longer. When I saw that, I was like, okay, maybe it's not a bad thing. But as I'm watching it, and then we're in the third act of the film, I'm like, okay, is this movie almost over? Because as much as I'm enjoying this has just been too long. Like, it's almost like Titanic. Like, Titanic is just, as much as I enjoy the movie, I think it's way too long, Titanic. Alright, Free Guy, I'm going to give an 8.5 out of 10, actually. Another enjoyable movie. I hope they make a sequel to that. I don't know if they will or won't. It was cool seeing the Easter eggs and references of other films and whatever, and I think they even referenced some other video games, if I remember correctly. Injustice, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10. Enjoyable DC animated movie, just felt a little quick, maybe. And last but not least, Army of Thieves, I'm going to give a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed that movie, and like I said, I hope we get some sort of sequel to Army of the Dead. because I think they are. I could be wrong, of course. And they are making an animated spin-off series of Army of the Dead, and I hope we do see Mateus's character Ludwig in the series, which I'm sure we will, because I think, like I said, if I remember correctly, I think his character survived at the end of Army of the Dead. So yeah, that was my reaction video. If you guys, no, did I say reaction video? I'm an idiot. That was my review for those 5 movies that I saw in between my little break of social media. If you guys watch this, I really appreciate it. If you guys can do me a favor, give this video a like and or subscribe to this channel, and I would really appreciate it. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Have a good one.